Welcome to this session on the Restricted Resale Capped Appreciation Program. It is one of two options within UBC's Faculty Home Ownership Program to address housing affordability challenges for faculty working on the Vancouver campus. It is intended to help fulfill the intent of UBC's Housing Action Plan Policy Number 1 commitment to enable approved faculty for recruitment and retention purposes to purchase homes on campus at 33% below benchmark market prices. The UBC Board of Governors approved its first pilot project for this program in February 2014. It authorized 150 loans and/or units over the next 3 years. Approximately half of these spots will be targeted for retention candidates and half for recruitment candidates. After a brief overview of what exactly is the Restricted Resale Capped Appreciation Program, this session will review who can apply, more detailed features and conditions of the program, the application and approval process, occupancy terms and the process for selling your home, a number of financial scenarios, and how to get started. At the end of this session, you will have a better understanding of whether you want to pursue this option and where to find the additional resources that are available to you. Let's begin. What is the Restricted Resale Capped Appreciation Unit option? It's a special program where UBC Properties Trust will develop and construct a limited number of new housing inventory on campus for sale of 99-year lease units only to approved faculty at prices 33% below benchmark value. There is no 30-year maximum time limit. You can live there your whole life, as long as you continue to meet eligibility requirements. When you come to sell your unit, UBC has the option to purchase it from you. Otherwise, it must be sold to the next approved faculty member on the approved or wait list. The resale price is capped at the lesser of 33% below the price of comparable units in an unrestricted market, or your original purchase price plus the average annual faculty salary increase percentage calculated over the period of time that you owned the unit. UBC will not share in any loss incurred upon resale nor any profits. It is also important to know that your 33% savings in the first year is considered by the Canadian Revenue Agency to be a taxable benefit, payable in that first year. If there are no interested buyers on the wait list or in the successively ranked faculty and priority groups, then the home may ultimately be sold to the general market. But resale restrictions will run with the property and still apply to the new buyer. Now let's discuss who can apply. Application is made to the UBC Faculty Home Ownership Program in general. All full-time tenured and tenure-track Vancouver faculty who do not own a home in Metro Vancouver are eligible to apply. Applicants should be aware, though, that priority will be given to full-time tenured and tenure-track faculty within the professorial and professor of teaching streams whose recruitment or retention is determined to be of critical strategic importance to the academic priorities of UBC and their individual faculty. Also, those who owned but sold a home in Metro Vancouver between April 2011 and the time of application are lower priority than those who have never owned in Metro Vancouver. After approval for the home ownership program, faculty may then explore their preferred program option, subject to meeting the basic conditions and financial qualifications, either this Restricted Resale Capped Appreciation option or the alternative Restricted Faculty Second Mortgage Loan option described on the Faculty Housing website. Let's discuss the conditions under which you can make the purchase if you are approved. We already discussed that your new unit would be sold in the form of a 99-year lease to you at 33% below benchmark market prices for a comparable unit. We also discussed the maximum resale price cap, and we will show you some sample financial scenarios a little later in the session. Now let's go through the additional program conditions. The unit must be your principal and only residence in Metro Vancouver. Your spouse or partner is encouraged to be a joint owner. You can only purchase from UBC Properties Trust purpose-built inventory on campus. It is your responsibility to qualify for your own mortgage from a bank. They also usually will require a minimum 5% down payment and GST. You are responsible for all taxable benefits associated with this program. Since you would be acquiring the new unit for 33% less than on the open market, there is a benefit to you as an employee. This benefit would be taxable in the year you purchase your home and could be a significant amount. There may be some discount to the taxable benefit portion due to unique resale and occupancy restrictions of these units. More information on taxable benefits is on the housing website, and you are encouraged to also seek your own professional tax advice. Faculty on the wait list must annually confirm continued compliance with these terms and other eligibility conditions in the university's eligibility, allocation, and occupancy guidelines that guide resale and unit turnover requirements. And remember that you can also use UBC's existing and separate $45,000 down payment assistance program to help you. Please be sure to read the details of these conditions in the full program description on our website. What properties are eligible for you to purchase? The pilot version of this program in 2014 would be a 36-unit project on Lot 45 in Westbrook Place, subject to sufficient interest and commitment from approved faculty. Available unit sizes will range from 1 to 3 bedroom. It is important to note that sufficient demand is necessary for the project to be viable. Drawings indicating unit layout, general building design, and finishing materials will be available for information. If there is 80% interest in the form of pre-construction sales contracts, the project on Lot 45 will proceed. Other projects of this type and their locations would be subject to future Board of Governors approval based on review of the pilot project results. If the project does not proceed due to insufficient demand, approved faculty in this cycle will still be able to use the alternative second mortgage loan program to purchase new units on campus elsewhere, built by other developers. Now let's talk about the application process. All the information you need is posted online, including application forms called Request for Consideration forms. The closing deadline for submitting your application can also be found on the website. Faculty sponsorship or other signatures are not required on the application form. Each new application cycle timing will depend on annual review and approvals by the Board of Governors based on program experience and demand to date and other strategic considerations. You will not be asked whether you are more interested in the loan or the capped appreciation option yet. You can explore both those options after you are approved for the home ownership program. In-person help is also available from Housing and Relocation Services staff. Once I have submitted my application, what happens next? Applications submitted by the closing deadline will be reviewed over the following 2 months. After the closing deadline, the Faculty Staff Housing and Relocation Services Office will forward eligible applications to the respective deans. Results will be announced approximately 2 months after the closing deadline. Each dean will oversee the review of applications in their faculty according to both the university and faculty's strategic priorities and criteria. Deans will be responsible for this process and will consult with a reasonable number of colleagues regarding the process and its implementation. There is no quota of housing program spots for each faculty. Your dean will forward a prioritized proposed candidates list and rationale to the University Faculty Housing Allocation Committee for final selection. This committee is chaired through the Provost Office and operates with the university strategic academic objectives in mind. When considering proposed candidate lists, the Faculty Housing Allocation Committee will give highest priority to full-time tenure-track or tenured faculty within the professorial and professor of teaching streams considered critical to advance UBC's strategic academic priorities. Second priority will be given to other existing full-time tenure and tenure-track faculty in the professorial and professor of teaching streams. Third priority will be given to existing non-tenured full-time faculty, including full-time librarians and continuing studies directors. Approximately 50% of the available spots will be targeted for retention purposes and 50% for recruitment. Successful applicants approved by this committee will be placed on an approved list for as many spots as are known to be available in a given cycle. The committee may also create a wait list that would guarantee people a spot if someone on the approved list left or changed their mind. People on the wait list would also be first in line for any future cycle without having to reapply. The committee may also create a reserve list in case even more unexpected turnover occurred, the wait list was fully accommodated, and there was still a free spot. Those on the reserve list would be offered the spot in sequence. However, this list would dissolve at the end of each cycle, and these people would need to reapply for a future cycle. At any time, a spot may also be allocated on the recommendation of the relevant dean and with the approval of the provost for a high-priority recruitment and/or retention situation. How and when will I know if my application has been approved? You can expect to be notified by your dean when your application has been approved or if you have been placed on the wait list. Approved faculty can then contact the Housing and Relocation Services Office for more detailed instructions on what to do next. If any candidates decline their spot on the approved list, the Housing and Relocation Services Office will contact the next person on the wait list or reserve list, if applicable, to offer them an opportunity to participate in the home ownership program. If you are not approved, you are welcome to reapply next cycle, and you should also feel free to contact the Faculty Staff Housing and Relocation Services Office and see their website for other housing options that may interest you. What are your obligations if accepted for this program? First, you must continue to meet eligibility conditions discussed earlier, including qualifying for a first mortgage and committing to the purchase as a principal residence, and you must make your purchase or enter a binding sale agreement within 15 months, or else your spot will be returned to the faculty pool for someone else. While you own the property, it is your obligation to keep your property in good repair and maintain it in good condition. You must pay all strata fees, property taxes, utility and service levies charged against the property. And finally, you must prove that you have insurance against damage to property. What happens when you want to resell your home? You can stay in your unit indefinitely as long as you remain eligible. But if you want to sell your home, you may do so based on the agreed-upon price calculations, and you must offer it to the next person on the wait list. The process for selling your home will be spelled out in detail in your lease agreement. It is also explained in the summary program description on our website, and also in Section 3.4J of the Eligibility Allocation Occupancy Policies on our website. You must read these terms carefully. They include: you must notify UBC of your intention to sell. The home must be appraised for the purpose of calculating the resale price. UBC will guide you in offering your unit to the next faculty on the wait list. UBC can also choose to buy your unit. If there are no interested buyers on the wait list, UBC will widen the scope of buyers to successive ranked priority pools outlined in the Eligibility, Allocation, and Occupancy Policies. Ultimately, if there are no buyers, the unit may be sold to the general market. Remember that the resale and appreciation restrictions run with the lease, so any buyer, even a member of the public, must also resell to faculty at 33% below market when their own turn comes to resell. This keeps the units in the family over the long run for successive generations of faculty at the university. Now, there are also circumstances where you must sell your home. The type of life events or decisions that would change your eligibility status and trigger a required sale within 6 months are things like if you leave the full-time employment of UBC for any reason, if your grant tenure is cancelled or not renewed, if you leave the tenure track position for any reason, including not achieving tenure, if you cease to live there due to divorce or separation, if you move for any reason other than a UBC-approved leave, if you acquire another residential unit in the Lower Mainland, if you retire, unless you are emeritus emerite with 15 years of full-time service at the time of retirement, or if you die, in which case the obligation to sell falls upon the surviving joint owner or heir within 1 year. More detailed information on these conditions is listed in the Eligibility, Allocation, and Occupancy Guidelines. Now let's look at some sample scenarios showing how the faculty reduced purchase price is determined. In the first scenario, let's assume you want to purchase a one-bedroom home that would cost $435,000 on the unrestricted open market. This unit would be sold by UBC Properties Trust to you for 33% less than that benchmark market price. This means your purchase price would be only $291,450. This would save you approximately $143,550. Applied to another example, a two-bedroom home worth $650,000 on the unrestricted open market would cost you only $435,500, saving you $214,500. And a three-bedroom home that might cost $900,000 on the unrestricted open market would be sold to approved faculty for only $603,000, saving you $297,000. These are illustrative examples only, not guaranteed costs for these unit sizes. A table showing approximate prices for different size units is provided on the website, and these will vary over time. You would be responsible for obtaining your own mortgage, and your lender will likely require 5% down payment. This will be confirmed by your lender. You will be responsible for applicable goods and services tax, GST, and closing costs for the unit. And you will also be responsible for taxes due on the taxable benefit assessment of the 33% savings you receive. You are encouraged to review the taxable benefit information section of our website and to obtain independent professional tax advice. Depending on your tax bracket and the proportion of the 33% savings ultimately deemed as a taxable benefit, the amount payable in year 1, for example, could be approximately $56,000 in our one-bedroom example, $84,000 in our two-bedroom example, or $117,000 in our three-bedroom example. Now let's look at how the capped appreciation rules determine the resale price of your home. Your resale price is always calculated as the lesser of 33% below the appraised price of a comparable unit on the open market, or your original purchase price plus the average faculty salary increase in the years you owned the home. For illustration purposes, we will assume you are reselling the unit in scenario 1 that was worth $435,000 in an unrestricted market, but that you were able to purchase at 33% less for $291,450. Let's also assume the market has risen 5% on average per year for the 10 years you owned the unit. And in that same period, the average UBC faculty salary index has risen by 4% each year. So, if the $435,000 benchmark market appraisal for your unit increased by 5% per year for 10 years to $708,569, a 33% reduction would result in a price of $474,741. But if you add the 4% increment times 10 years on top of the original faculty price you paid, because the faculty salary increase was 4%, this would add $139,967 to your original $291,450 purchase price, bringing it to a resale price of $431,417. The lesser of those two calculations is $431,417. So you would have to offer your home for $431,417 to the next willing buyer on the faculty wait list. This would be $139,967 more than your original purchase price. The university does not share any of your resale profits or losses. The faculty salary increase, FSI, is defined in this first cycle as the general salary increase plus progress through the ranks. UBC administration will confirm what percentage that is each year. Now, in another scenario, let's look at what would happen when you resell that same unit in a real estate market that has declined by 1% per year for the 10 years you owned your home, while in that same period, the average UBC faculty salary index has risen by 4% each year. The benchmark market appraisal for your unit, which was $435,000, would have decreased to $393,406. The resale price, at 33% below that, would be $263,582. The faculty salary index calculation would add $139,967, 10 years times a 4% increase, to your original $291,450 purchase price, bringing it to a total of $431,417. The lesser of those two calculations is the first one, $263,582. So you would be required to offer your home for $263,582 to the next willing faculty member on the wait list. This would be $27,868 less than your original purchase price. The university does not share in any resale profits or losses in this program. Please see our website for additional sample scenarios. You are also encouraged to obtain independent legal and tax advice. What have you learned in this session? You have learned that the Restricted Resale Capped Appreciation Program offers homes at 33% below comparable market prices, but there is a cap on appreciation at resale, that there are restrictions on who you can sell to, with priority going first to the faculty on wait lists and then to successive priority pools after that, with sales to the general public permitted only as a last resort. That the program is designed primarily for tenured and tenure-track faculty who do not own homes in Metro Vancouver and whose recruitment or retention is of strategic priority to the university. You learn that you can sell the unit at any time, but you must sell if ever your eligibility changes. You learned you are responsible for your own financing, but that the UBC Housing Assistance Program's $45,000 down payment can also be used to help you. You learned that you must get insurance for the property and keep it in good repair, and that UBC may opt to purchase your unit when you sell. Along the way, you will have questions. Here is where you can learn more about the program. Contact Faculty Staff Housing and Relocation Services directly at this number and email address. Or go to UBC's Faculty Housing Program website to review the reference policy document and program descriptions. These can also be downloaded from the website. How do you get started? By participating in this webinar, you have fulfilled the first required step in the application process. It is also recommended that you get your own personal legal and tax advice before committing to this program. The next step, when you are ready to apply, is to download a copy of the Request for Consideration form from the Faculty Housing Program website. You don't need to identify whether you want a loan or restricted capped appreciation unit yet. Complete the form and then email, mail, or deliver in person by the closing deadline. All of this information can be found on the website. Thank you for taking part in this session on the Restricted Resale Capped Appreciation option within UBC's Faculty Home Ownership Program.